Hi, everyone. Elisa Keaton, founder of Revelation Wellness, coming to you live from Suite 180 here in Phoenix, Arizona at the Revelation Wellness headquarters. Okay, we've tried this a few times before. We're hoping this is working. If it is, in Facebook Live right now, if you're getting this, just give us a high five. Give us any type of, hey, it worked, something. And Dana is behind the screen. We are going to be engaging today in a little bit of a workshop. This is a mind-body workshop. 6 most effective exercises for your glutes. Now, I know that I purposely am talking about the obvious things. Okay, everyone kind of wants to know. And actually, I wanted to know. I looked this up personally because this is something that I am working out in my body, not because I'm desiring a better butt. I am desiring to move better, and I realize that a lot of my own personal dysfunction comes out of my hips. My back feels it. So this is really about for those of you that want to move better, and there's really no getting around our hips. A high percentage of people have dysfunction found around their hip area or their shoulders. The hips and the shoulders generally are the impact place of the body. So we're going to talk about it physically, but around here, we don't just talk surface stuff. I'm not here to just assign you 6 exercises. Anyone can do that. I want to get to the why a little bit, and I want to go to a deeper place because here is the truth. We carry around in our body our beliefs. Our beliefs become our biology. How we feel, the filter of how I look at the world will affect the fear I carry, the shame, the worry, anxiety, depression. It all comes out of this body thing. So I'm going to go more than just exercises. I'm going to be about 20 minutes today. So hang out so I can show you these 6 exercises, and then I hope you put them into your workout plan, and I'll give you a plan for that. But before we get jumped further into that, I want to remind you, encourage you to remember this weekend, June 2nd, we are hosting our meetups all around the world. All around the world, Revelation Wellness instructors are coming together this Saturday, primarily. Some are doing it in different dates in the month of June, with our RevWell Bold in the Soul meetup. It's a 3-hour workshop that you can personally go to. 2 things. 1, it gets you in live community with people. You need to be in community with people, to work against people, to be vulnerable with people, to be known by people. That is not what Facebook allows us to do. Facebook is a kind of way we can share something and then not have to be accountable for what we share. We want you to get into community because we don't want you to just feel better. We want you to get better. And get better happens inside community. So find an instructor near you. They are praying, waiting. This is what they were born to do. The battle for which they were born was freedom for people. So the meetup is a 3-hour workshop this weekend talking about identity. Now, we're going to look at body shame a bit, how we look at our body and we shame it, and we kind of, we judge books by covers. Well, that has more to do about identity. Who do I think I am? Who do I know God to be? Because then that will give me the lens from which I view my body. Either the world is giving me a lens or God is. We get to choose. So this Bold in the Soul meetup, it's going to help you kind of just exhale and start over. Listen, you don't have to just come as you are. If you're like, I'm not even sure about this God, Jesus thing, just come. Come with your questions. We are not in pursuit of perfect people. We are just people who are going to pursue faith, hope, and love, and the promises of God. So go to the website, look for an instructor, get into a meetup this weekend, and get into community. And then we will have these ongoing. So it's not just one and done. You're going to know these people, grow with these people. We're not going to sell you anything. Nothing to sell. We're just here to share the good news of the gospel, because that's what we do. Okay, let's get into this, talking about our glutes a little bit. Like I said, I want to talk about first to your mind. First of all, we got to realize what's going on here. Our bodies are the stored place. It is the place of stored and used energy. That's it. That if you just step back, what is the body? The body is a place of stored and used energy. So this goes into that weird place of energy. We're all energy. Everything we do at this very base level of cells and protons and what's the opposite of a proton? Electron. Neurons are different. Neurons are in the brain. Protons, electrons, all this chemistry and energy. We are that. And it seems, I know that's where things get really small and get really weird. Things get really big and get really weird. God is in that mystery of creation, We can't deny that we have energy in us. It's the reason you get up. It's the reason you breathe. It's the reason you have life, is energy is coming through you. There's a gas exchange, oxygen exchange. All these energies are firing off in us. And the body is the container. That's all. It's like pouring something into a glass contains that. For us, energy is poured into us. It brings us alive. We have life, whether we like it or not. The only way we can choose to end it by stop breathing, cut off the blood flow, turn off the water, right? That's why 3 days without water, our systems can't have all the energy flowing. So this body is a stored place of energy, stored or used. Brake pedal or gas pedal. I'm either burning it and using it, or stopping and storing and recollecting myself. Why am I mentioning this? Because I'm getting to the point of what is going on with our body in pain and how we move and use it. So if the body is a place of stored and used energy, honestly, that it is an emotion is energy in motion. An emotion is energy in motion. Nobody gets out of this life. Nobody has a day without having an emotion. Even the ones who don't think they have an emotion, you're having an emotion. Your emotions are constantly going from the moment you were conceived. There was energy, which meant you have emotions. These emotions are molecules, and they run all around us all the time. Listen, I wish someone would have taught me this when I was younger, because I was just told, well, just emotions are emotions. Yes, but they have a cause and an effect. A positive emotion, we reap and sow. If I sow the seed of a positive emotion, joy, goodness, happiness, I will reap more of that energy. If I sow a seed of despair and hopelessness and depression, I will sow more of that emotional energy. Energy in motion. The word emotion means, if you break it down to its root word, it means to move out. To move out, which is, I'm like, oh, that's our territory. That's a workout. That's the whole thing of working out. You're moving out. You're moving things through you. It's an emotion in movement of whatever it is you do. It's an expression, which is why you just chemically feel better after you work out. But now we, as the people of God who are integrating all of our heart, soul, mind, and strength, can go, oh, so God, you can take this emotion and put it into motion in a way that the emotion that tried to hurt me can actually become the thing that you will use for good. It can turn around for something really positive. And that's what we want to do when we're looking at our body that has pain. Proverbs 23:7 says, as a man thinks, so he is. As a man thinks in his mind, he's going to feel it in his body. He's going to believe and create that system and work that out. Like, my beliefs become what I do, what I say, who I am. As a man thinks, so he is. By the way, if you have any questions as we go along, Dana is behind the screen here, and she can answer. If you're like, Elisa, I have this pain or something, I'm happy to do a little bit of engagement with you. So if you have a question and she sees fit to share it, she'll raise her hand and let me know. So you can go ahead and do that. Okay. So let's start moving through the fact that our glutes, as I was saying, our hips, this is the primary mover. It's called, in the physical fitness world, the glutes are a primary mover. The chest, the back, the hips, they're a primary mover, which means it will elevate my heart rate. It's most amount of muscle mass, and so it will get me an energy return. If I want to spend some calories, it's best that I use these big primary movers to move out and spend the energy. All right. So, yeah, it's funny that I was thinking about that today with the Lord. It's considered a primary mover, but honestly, what is most primary mover is your core. Your core is a primary mover. Without the core, the hips don't move. Without the core, the shoulders don't move. See how the core integrates the earth to upward energy to lower energy? So the core is really, really, truly a primary mover. But the thing is, you can't burn a lot of calories with your core. So that's why fitness is looking to burn energy. A primary mover is your hips, chest, and back. This core action kind of gets overlooked. But it is super important. So I want to start there for a second. Because if we just start doing some glute exercises to help you with your knee pain or back pain, then we actually are going to just increase more pain, because dysfunction that you have in your knees or back or hips is coming off of the glutes that are either taut and tight or weak. Taut, you can have, most people, let's just say there's a lot of people that can have a really strong looking butt, muscularly, but actually be quite weak in their butt. It is a matter of engagement, of how do they engage and how do they integrate the movement of their glute through their life. I am here to tell you I'm a former fitness competitor. I know many people that stand on that stage and look like the picture of physique fitness perfection and aches with a lot of aches. And they have a lot of aches and pains, but they just keep pushing through. So what's happening there? Well, here's what's happening. So our bodies with energy, they lengthen, they can get long and tight. It's a push-pull contraction of energy that goes along in our bodies. And as a man thinks, I think I will get in shape. So he does. So he is, right? But if we have dysfunction in our body, which, by the way, we all do, it comes right. Nobody is born with the perfect aligned body. Not one child is born with a perfect aligned body. So from conception, even the way you sat in your mother's womb, if you crossed your legs, if you twisted in one way, if she twisted in one way, your energy is getting bounced around. And we all kind of come out a little bit like this as we're growing, as we're learning to walk. We start these kinks that start happening in our body. Now, when we're younger, oh my gosh, the other day my son was playing soccer, and I'm like, I'm envying his just running and spry and kicking his leg real, like he is no aches, no pains. He's never broken a bone, nothing. I mean, he's just fully living in his 16-year-old body. Now, are there things like this starting to happen where there are kinks and alignments starting to happen? Yes, it's happening for him right now, but he can't feel it because of the kindness and the suppleness of his muscles and the chemicals in his body. It's not feeling anything. This type of dysfunction and misalignment happens over time. So the hip and knee and back pain that you're having is just something that's come through over time. So what people often do is they don't even know this kind of kink is somewhere in their alignment, in their system, and they just go, I want to lose weight, I'm overweight. And they just start pulling on it, and the thing gets tighter and tighter and tighter. And now we're losing elasticity, and at some point, boom, it snaps and breaks because it's just a law of nature. This is a scientific thing. At some point, it will break as a merciful God to go, can we start over? Can we take a break and unwind? And this, I can't even do it now. I pulled on this so much, is the process of getting healthy again is to unwind, untangle what has been, what in my alignment is misaligned, God, that then I just feel like I constantly have to strive or do it or make it happen. I can't even undo this. You would get the picture. We would release this kink. Now, I kind of mentioned the fact that this releasing thing is something that we can only do when we slow down. Our hips, again, being a primary mover, hold a lot of emotional energy of striving, going, performing. And now I'm going to go a little bit more in a vulnerable place. If you have had any type of sexual violation, abuse in that area of your body, there is a pain that gets stored in you. Let's talk about it. When you walk into a room and you have an uneasy feeling, you feel kind of queasy, sick, something's off, that is energy, neurons, peptides in your body being released by an emotion that then gets locked somewhere in the body. A lot of our food intolerances and dietary gut health that's being not good right now, I think it has a lot to do with emotions, anxiety, and stress that we're not dealing with, and then we just eat more, drink more, exercise more, and disconnect from more, and this is all starting to kink up. Our glutes are no exception. I know for a fact two things. One, I was born pigeon-toed. I walked pigeon-toed till the age of 5. Already, knowing pigeon-toe, that means my lateral sides of my hips I've always been weak. I didn't know it until I became an athlete as a runner. I did some Ironmans, and my IT bands would begin to hurt all the time. Not everyone had IT bands, but I would always have IT band. because already you can see this angle of alignment that I have weak outer thighs. I didn't know it until I put that much stress on it. Running, going, striving actually was the mercy of God to go, we're going to have to slow down and tend to this function, getting you functional again. Why, Elisa, are you running? Walk. What are you anxious about? What are you striving for? That's a conversation you've got to work it out with the Lord. If you're losing joy in your workouts, if you just feel a fear of getting old or unfit or fat or whatever it is, you got to drop the pin and get honest. You know, you can turn me off and go do, it's going to catch up with you at some point when the breakdown, the neurons, the peptides in your body are like, what is going on? It's asking for a release, a let go. So the first thing you need to know about your glutes is you must learn to let go so you can let's go. Let go, meaning unwinding. So we're going to go right into the practical side of before I even get to those glutes going. And I'm talking to people that have back pain, hip pain, knee pain. And I'm coming to you today honest. I've got my IT bands are flaring up again. They're flaring up again. And here's what I know. I'm just confessing. I am not doing these things I'm about to show you right now. I'm not doing, and I'm now also committing to you, I'm going to start doing, I have to start doing them. I just need to do them. I spend 5 minutes every night, just a little bit. You can't burn the candle at both ends. I'm a 47-year-old woman, too. My son can burn the candle at both ends. He's 16. At some point, his candle will get short, too. So you are where you are. I know I'm talking, though, again, I'm talking to people that are like, I have pain and I want to move better. You're my people, and I'm with you, and I still have to do the things I'm going to teach you to do. All right, first thing is to let go. We need to let go. This is a myofascial, or this is a foam roller. You can get them all over the place. Target has them now. Once upon a time, these were really hard to find, not so much. All I'm going to do is sit down, and the first thing I want to do is release my glutes. Just slowly roll over them, and I can go back and forth. It's not. It seems like nothing. Here's the other thing about foam rolling. You don't have to do it till it hurts. Like people go, oh, if I don't feel it, it's not working. That's a lie. Just move and feel it. I would do that for, gosh, maybe a minute, 2 minutes, and then moving to the side. The glutes have 3 muscles, gluteus maximus, minimus, and medius. On the side like this, I am on the medial side of my glutes, and I would just hit it a few times. Now for me, IT band, and I think for all of you, I'm just going to say, I encourage all of you to go all the way down those IT bands. Honestly, Dana, we should just end it now. Let's just make this a foam roller. One. Oh, yeah, there are a lot. There are these. We have myofascial workouts on RevVol TV. Okay, so then I would flip and do the other side. It doesn't take you guys 5 minutes. 5 minutes just to loosen it up. If you have knee pain, back pain, hip pain, pain in general, before you go to the gym to move, just roll a little bit. There's also these things called the stick. You can just roll right over so you don't have to lay down on the ground. And it really just gets blood flow going a little bit and allows you to let go. Flexibility. Our yoga workouts as well. I have a good practice of yoga, so I do that, but it's the myofascial that I need to do a little bit more of. Releasing. You can take a tennis ball, too. If you don't have a foam roller, you can take a tennis ball, lay down, get on your back, find those places that are like this, breathe. When you find the hard spot, hold it, breathe, exhale. And then you can go, again, laying down on the ground, letting this go into fun places in your glutes. Okay, so first we want to let go, lengthen. Right? Then, now, I shall show you the 6 exercises that you would begin to do. Super simple. By the way, these have research been proven. I'm not just pulling these out of the sky. They are the top 6 exercises for a thorough workout of your maximus, gluteus, medius, and minimus. All right? First thing you'd want to do, look at a step. 1989 has called, and they brought me a step. This, you can use whatever you want, like whatever step up you have. If you have a staircase in your home, you can order boxes online. I actually almost brought mine today, but I knew we had a step. I just ordered a little wooden box. I put it together like a puzzle piece, and I use it a few times a week. Okay, first exercise is a step up, you guys. Now, Not like a step up as if you were doing step aerobics. You want to put that leg up. You know you have the right box height when you got about a 90-degree bend. Now, if you have really painful knees, go ahead and start with a smaller step. Right, the 90-degree bend, make sure your foot is completely on the step and you're stacked. Tailbone under. Finding if there's any dysfunction in your back or tightness, that's why the rolling is good too. From here, I have no weights because all I want to do is step up straight, come down slowly, hinge, and come back up. The reason this is a primary mover for the glute is because it allows you to bring your weight behind yourself more, unlike a squat. All right, so up and down. Now, would I add weight? Probably, but I don't want to today. Exhale as you come up, inhale as you come down. Your weight stays back into your glute. Come up. How many? 10 to 12 reps with some weight. So get the appropriate weight for your body. 10 to 12 reps on a step. Switch, do the other side. And you would want to do at least one set will work. 2 sets has been proven to be just as effective of doing 3. The nice part about doing 3 sets is that you kind of get time to improve and get a little bit better. And then I would switch and do the other leg. Key thing here, make sure your whole foot's on the step. I've seen so many people just step up with their toes on the step. Make sure your whole foot, nothing changes in the spine. Upright, upright, not rolling through and forward and back. That's why it's better. Take the weights away first. Figure out if you can do the movement without starting to roll and tuck through your hip. That's your first exercise. Step up, write it down. Second one, a Bulgarian lunge. I have no weights. All I'm going to do is split my stance as if I was into a lunge. Now, a normal lunge would be just like this, where I drop my back knee 90 degrees, front knee 90 degrees, shoulders back, tailbone under, you guys. Inhale as I go down, exhale as I come up. But we're not going to do just a normal lunge, although lunges are great for the glutes, as we know. If you want to go a little deeper into the glutes, you would hip hinge forward. This Bulgarian lunge now becomes really heavy through the glutes. No weights. I will push up, come down. It's almost like a warrior 3. Come up and come down. Exhale up. My body weight is over, my heart is over my thigh. Come up, come down. Switch after 10, 12 reps, do the other leg. 30-second break too. Just take a moment, reset, go again. Listen, if you're trying to fight pain, moving faster is not going to help. You need to slow down and move better in your body so that the rest of the day you have more time to be thoughtful. The whole trying to burn more calories thing will rob you of moving better. All right, so we got a step up, Bulgarian lunge, that's 2. All these are working the maximus. Now, one more, your third one, and honestly, this one is one of the hardest, I think, but it's an isolated work for the glute max and a little bit of the meat as well. Quadruped position, you're going to neutral your spine. So I even will kind of roll and tuck just to help me find the exaggeration of a neutral spine, and then find neutral. Tummy comes up. Now, all I'm going to do is shift my weight into my left knee. My right knee comes off the ground, and it's so slow, you guys. Coming up to 90 degrees in that back leg and coming down. It's really small. Now, here's what most people do. They get in this position, and what do? They start arching their back up and down. And then you wonder why your back hurts. This has everything to do with stabilizing the core so that you just turn on the so I'm going to have to exhale. The glute max. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Just to that point, if you start to arch your back, you've hyperextended your back, it shuts the glutes off. Keeping the core right where it is, just try and find just the glute. So this is not a multi-joint movement. This is just the movement at the glute max. Inhale, exhale. You can create more resistance by grabbing the tube if you wanted to. If mine wasn't all kinked up, I'd be able to do it. But you can create a loop, put it through your foot, Now again, I would only add this when I feel confident that I can keep my spine neutral. Inhale, exhale, whenever you do the work. Inhale. Now, if you wanted more, too, you could start to then extend through the knee as well. The whole point, again, this is why I wish I was a personal trainer that I could be eyes to see you, because I would know if this thing is starting to happen where the dysfunction is showing up for the sake of the movement or the quote-unquote the burn. Don't fall for that, okay? Quadruped hip extension. Try that one, you guys. Literally, you can do it right now, office, wherever. Get on all fours and try and just find a neutral core, a strong core, and find your glutes again. Find them again. They've been buried under all this other activity. Okay, next, this is your third or fourth exercise. Here we go. These have been all the rage lately. I've seen them a lot. So funny. Just a little rubber band. And here's what we do. Put it around you. Now, it can be located at the ankles. You can bring it up above the thighs or above the knees there if you want. Depending on the movement you're doing, will tell you which way is going to be harder. Usually having it down lower makes it a little bit harder, and especially for these next exercises. So I'm going to bring it down low. Okay? Now, my feet go about hip width apart. By the way, these are all different tensions. Usually you can get them in a pack of like 6 or 8, so that way you can figure out which one's for you. But my hips are hip width apart. I'm going to back up. These are called monster walks. My kids see me doing it in the house. They're like, what are you doing? It looks creepy. You're going to come down into a quarter squat. Take your feet wide so you already feel it. Laterally, I'm already working. Now I'm working my glute med. Remember, these are my things that I have to do. Squats and lunges, I don't need to generally do more of those. I need that isolation of my glute max and these next 3 exercises. So from here, shifting my weight and taking a step forward, shift forward. Keeping myself down in that quarter squat position. Am I out of frame yet? Now I'm out of frame. And then I can take it back. Inhale, exhale. Not easy. Woo. Exhale. You can get bigger with them as you get stronger. Keeping down low. You guys, can you feel it? Is anyone having their, it's called something in your brain called mirror neurons, meaning you can watch someone and be like, ooh, I can feel that. It's empathy, right? You're like, oh, that looks hard. Monster walks. Forward, back. Take a rest. Again, forward for 10, 20 steps, back. It is powerful. You guys let me know how that works for you. Then this one, keeping it on, we're going to finish off with this loop. Feet wide, lateral band walks. You probably have done these before. Quarter squat again. Now, I would have upped my tension a little bit more, so you would know based on how easy or how hard it is to take the step. Out to the side, quarter squat, stay, bring it in. Tiny little step in, big step out, tiny step in, big step out, tiny step in. I'm going to go back this way. Big step out. Putting the heel down first. Inhale, exhale. You know what's crazy about this? I look here and I go, it doesn't look like I'm doing much, but it's everything my body needs. It needs a chance to be in the motion and fire off in my brain some new patterns and strengthen at my core. There is a quiet strength that I think we're missing a little bit more in the fitness realm right now, because we're all high intensity jumping, burping, and that's all great. But if we get back in it, slow down and kind of get deeper in our body alignment and our strength and flexibility, I think we're going to go longer and feel better. That's wellness. All right, so I would take like 10 steps that way, 10 steps come this way, rest, 30 seconds, go again. Last one. How are we doing, Dana? Good. Do we have any questions at this point? I did. I answered it. Okay, Dana's listening. If you've got anything else, we've got a few more minutes with you, and then we'll let you go. All right. Now, bringing the band up towards just above my kneecaps on my thigh. You guys, some things never change. There's nothing new under the sun. I did these when I was 14 years old in my first aerobics class. You're going to come down on the side of your body, bringing your feet about, not a 90 degree, but like a 45 degree. Your hips are about a 45 degree angle. This would be 90. It's about 45. My heels are touching each other. Now, I'm going to want to stay. I actually did these with my physical therapist. The first time I did them, I'm like, oh, I know these. And they came and were like, you're doing them wrong. Because what I was doing is just kind of rolling out of them instead of keeping this hip down, coming up. That is a much smaller movement. Coming up, clamshell, and down. Exhale, 3, and down. Exhale, 4. So I often have to keep my hand right on my hip. And I wish you could be in my skin, but I'm shaking right now because this medius muscle for me is going, thank you. I've been on the weaker side for so long. I need this strength. Exhale, inhale down. Good. I would do 10 of those, 10 to 12. Breathe, switch the other side. Those, friends, are your 6 exercises. I would challenge you to do those 6 exercises. If you have knee pain, back pain, low back pain, or just overall, you're like, I feel tight. Don't forget the release, let go, so you can let's go. You can activate. You got to unwind to go forward. Those 6 exercises 3 times a week for 1 to 3 sets. I'd go for 2. You don't have to do 3. 3 is more or less, it imprints into your brain a little bit more, gives you more time. 10 to 12 reps, 3 times a week. Yeah, there's a question. Go ahead. Growing pains? Oh, growing pains. Let me tell you about growing pains. Groin pain, when do they get it? It really, more or less, if you can respond, do you get groin pain when you're doing hip work? Is that something you're saying? Any type of groin pain, if it's coming off of 2 things. Pain in general, if you went to a physical therapist for pain, it's often referred from some other place. So just because my thighs hurt doesn't mean I need to do always something with my thighs, right? My back pain is often coming off my hips. My knee pain is coming off my hips. But with groin, I would venture a guess that they're tight. So something like a butterfly stretch, which is something like this, where you go out, flex your feet, and push yourself back to release that area. But then again, a potential strengthen. But I would question whether you have a sway in your back, an excessive sway, alignment-wise, or if you are, if your lateral sides are weak, like we've been showing you. Did she say? Oh, that's great. So she said, and her knees get... So she's doing another workout program where they're using the loops all the time. Yeah. So I've seen that program. And that's why these loops are really big right now. We're actually going to do a live stream in a few weeks about the latest gadgets and the pros and cons and is it worth the investment. So I think we're doing so much that you're overfired it. You've overfired. So I would do that stretch I've showed you more of. And honestly, if it doesn't feel good, it's okay for you to take a break. I know they often like do this on this day, this on this day. You guys, we here want to get you in touch with the Holy Spirit, who is a wonderful counselor and the best personal trainer. This is how I train my daily life. I wake up, what does my body need? And I ask the Spirit of God. I want to be with God all day long. What does my body need? Today, he was like, you need more rolling. I'm like, Lord, I'm about to go teach on that. Yes, you are, because I use wounded healers. But you're now responsible. You need to do more of it. And why wouldn't I? It takes 5 minutes just to release and let go. So just notice. But I would agree, because what's happening with these loops, our inner thighs are eccentrically, they're lengthening a lot to hold the strength of the outside. And the eccentric work of a muscle can be just as fiber tearing and exhausting as the concentric work, the tightening work. So you're reaping benefits, but I would probably pull back a little bit and take a rest. Any other questions? Yeah, is it normal for one side to be tighter than the other? 100% yes. That goes back to your dysfunction, right? 3 planes of motion, forward and back. So some of us have a right hip more forward or a shoulder more forward. We're just kind of twisted more forward. And some of us have more weight leaning to the left and leaning to the right. So yes, it is normal. What I would say, and again, you guys, I'm just a personal trainer. If it's a chronic pain issue that you're having, at some point with my clients, I'd be like, you got to go to physical therapists, like, because they're going to know more intricacies. But I could always help general pain get better. But if it is like always, you can't seem to get that one side to strengthen, then at some point, I would pay attention and go get an assessment looked at yourself and your biomechanics. But you can you can strengthen the weaker side by giving it a few more reps. That's definitely not outside of scope of practice. Anything else? You guys are good. Okay, well, we hope this blessed you. Honestly, I know maybe I just did it for me, but I know that these 6 exercises to help me strengthen my hips, strengthen my back. We will do another live stream. I want to talk more about back, core, like that whole area. But I know some of you had asked about, the glutes and what they look like. These exercises will definitely change your glutes if the diet supports it, but I could care less about that as much as you feeling stronger and better. If you get better looking glutes, awesome. But go for what the unseen is, the wellness of your heart, your mind, your soul, and your strength. All right, you guys, thank you. I hope it blessed you. Find a meetup for this weekend, and check out RevWell TV. Like all this whole workshop will go back into RevWell TV every month. New teachings, new movements, new instructors, not just me, other awesome people. And that's our gift to you as a monthly partner with us, because we are using fitness as a tool to spread the gospel message around the world. Bye, guys. Peace.